Okay, good evening and welcome to special shir, afternoon shir of Iyun, Talina, and Simon Kufnun Tet in Netilas Adayim 159. Usually I do this shirim in the morning, but these are long simonim, so push it off the afternoon. It's a long simon. It talks about two things primarily that you need for Netilas Adayim. One is when you're doing Netilas Adayim, I suppose it's Tevila. We talked about the end of the simon, but Netilas Adayim you need one that it has to be a kli. You have to use a kli to pour on your hands. And the kli has to be fashioned by a person, and it has to also be um, big enough to hold a revius of water, and it has to be something, and it also has to be something you have to. The Netilas Yadayim also requires that it's mikoach gavra. It doesn't have to be you who pour the water, but a person has to pour the water. Maybe a monkey could even pour the water with a kocha with no saying. It doesn't have to be a person. Even a monkey could technically pour the water on your hands. I'm sorry for the background noise. Some kids playing some card game over here. So we've done it in a second. So you need these special things over here. There's a very interesting machlokas at the end in Simon Yudalit over here. Yudalit talks about you have a main mikvah. Normally a mikvah is 40 sa of water. So you have a main mikvah stagnant water. You want to put your hands in them for tefillas yadayim. You don't have to do tefillas yadayim. Tefillas yadayim is also okay. If tefillah works for your whole body, it could work. But what about if it's not kosher for tefillah? 40 sa is necessary for tefillah. If it's a less amount of water, is it good enough? So it's a machlokas. We paskin that b'diavad it's okay. How could it be okay b'diavad? Because you don't have 40 sa for tefillah, you don't have koach gavra, and you don't have koach adam. You don't have a kli. How could it be good over here? If you're going to use tefillah, you have to use tefillah for tefillah saguf. You shouldn't, right? And there's a lot of different machlokasim over here where it's done, the netilah is done in a respectable way. You just don't have all the details of tefillah yadayim. So the idea is, the reason you need koach gavra and you need the kli to be fashioned by a person and a kli that doesn't have a hole is because, again, like I mentioned, the whole idea of tefillah yadayim is washing your hands for a meal, right? And the kli maybe is the bottle of soap, of soft soap that you're using to clean your hands. Maybe that's the kli is. I'm not gonna. Again, this is my own suggestions. It's taken for halacha, but it has to be done in a respectable way because the whole point that you're washing your hands before a big meal is to give, for etiquette and to be clean before the meal, to be dignified for the meal. So therefore, you want to use a bottle or a kli that doesn't have holes in it, so it doesn't look like you're a poor person. It also has to be something that was fashioned. It's not a bag that's not used to hold water. Something which is respectable. If it's not respectable, so just like when I shop at a boutique store, right? Shopping at a fancy store adds to the shopping experience. And you pay more money at a boutique store than another store because it's a distinguished type of shopping. You're paying for the ambiance, the atmosphere. So when it comes to Netilas Yadayim, you want to preparing for a fancy meal. You're going to have etiquette at the meal. And that's why you're washing your hands before the meal for proper etiquette. So too also, it has to be done in a way from a kli that is a functional kli. It looks not like you're engaged in acts of poverty, that you're just taking water from some disgusting kli. It has to be a legitimate kli. It has to be something that you're putting on yourself. For example, if a bottle of water falls on the ground and water is squirting out and you use it to clean your hands, it's not a respectable way of cleaning your hands for a big meal. So therefore, it loses the etiquette. So since Netilas Yadayim is made for etiquette for your meal, so therefore the washing itself has to be done in a dignified way of etiquette. And therefore, even if it's not technically the 40 sa for tevila, nonetheless, it's a big body of water and it looks like etiquette. I'm putting my hands in a big tub of water. That's okay, as long as it doesn't look like a way of poverty. It looks dignified, because that would be the idea behind Netilas Yadayim, that you're giving etiquette to the meal. So the giving etiquette should be done in a way that is of etiquette also. Hope you enjoyed it. Good night, share. See you in the next one.